better than to promote me to Lieutenant Colonel today than you. What you said rings true. The relationship that we had back then when you were a Lieutenant Colonel and then a full-bird Colonel and I was a young major, on how we could talk about how we would get after problems, the solutions to those problems. There was no other leader that I wanted to emulate more than you, because you allowed your subordinate leaders to provide you with feedback. You were firm at times, and we knew at the end of the day, when you said we're going to execute or we're not going to execute, we understood it. I doubt I'll ever be able to replicate how you were as a battalion or brigade commander, but I'm going to give it hell, sir, and I'm going to give it all I got. Hopefully that the Army will allow me to continue to serve in that capacity, and I do pray that here in the ensuing months, they see fit that I am selected to be a battalion commander, and I can assure you, sir, that I will not disappoint you. So thank you so much. Thank you to Lou and the boys and the family for how you've always accepted my family, how we were treated in that crazy op-tempo of 2nd Ranger Battalion with the exercises and the deployments. Cannot thank you enough, sir, for being here today in Washington, D.C. here at the State Department to promote me to Lieutenant Colonel. Thank you very much, sir. To my EAP family and my MLA team, I've only been here less than 60 days. I haven't got to get around to meet everybody. I'm sure everybody in our suite knows who I am from my big mouth. But I say that in all good gesture. I'll tell you this, I got to serve at Indo-PACOM for 2 years. And up until that point in my career, it was very tactical, and I finally got to see the strategic theater level engagements and strategy of our whole of government. Fascinated with it. And I realized that I was very much behind the power curve when it comes to diplomacy and foreign policy. So when I was asked and given the opportunity to potentially come to the State Department to be a military advisor within the East Asia and Pacific Affairs Bureau, I wanted to do it immediately. Because I know, as I look at my teammates, my depth and knowledge is not where it needs to be and where you guys are when it comes to foreign policy. What I lack in that area, I can assure you I have passion and energy and enthusiasm to do anything for you. No task is too small, I can assure you that. And I hope when I leave here in a couple years, I am far better than I am now when it comes to diplomacy and foreign policy. Because I can tell you, when diplomacy and foreign policy fails, I know what that looks like. I've been on the ground and I've seen it. And to me, diplomacy and foreign policy is what truly matters. But because it keeps the men and women like myself in uniform out of harm's way. And it's hard. It's extremely hard. And it takes diligent and intelligent people to think through those problem sets. So thank you for the first 60 days here within EAP and MLA. It's truly been a blessing so far, and I look forward to what's in the future and how I can assist the team. To Max, Bo, Tim, my peers and colleagues in the Army, through training or deployment, we've all served with each other. A lot of times we don't get to see each other, but 4 or 5 years will pass and we see each other in the hallway, like I ran into Max in the bottom of the State Department here, not knowing I hadn't seen him in 5 years, and we gave each other a hug, and it was as if we hadn't seen. It was as if we saw each other last evening over drinks and dinner. You guys are fantastic to serve with. You make me want to be better. And then finally, and I'll quit bumping my gums, and I don't want to get emotional. For me, the ability to serve and do all the things that General Anderson talked about is because of my family. My wife is a rock. My children are fantastic. I would never be a lieutenant colonel in the United States Army. I can never serve this great nation and this great Army if it wasn't for them. She's my rock. She is the toughest and strongest person I've ever met. I tell you, sometimes when I would leave for deployment, she wouldn't even bat an eye, and I'm like, oh man, I'm sitting there crying. She doesn't even like. But that is the type of woman that she is. She's a rock. She's a far better ranger and a soldier than I've ever been or ever will be. And my 2 beautiful children, I got orders very late at the end of June, and they said you have to report to the State Department by August. And I told them we're packing up, we're leaving, and they're always ready to go, and they don't even bat an eye. So I'm truly, truly blessed to have a family, kids, and wife that I have, and none of this would be achievable if it wasn't for them. And then my final comment is, based on tradition, you normally have food and drinks. A lot of my team is out right now supporting huge events in the East Asia Summit and the Indo-Pacific Business Forum. and they will all be returning at the end of the week and later next week. So I do promise that we are going to do a happy hour off-site for all MLA and those within EAP, and food and drinks will definitely be on Lieutenant Colonel Harris. Just got to get the invite out, and I look forward to.
That's a tradition. You got to hold them to it.
And I won't tell you how much we're supposed to spend on it, though. Just take my word for it. But ladies and gentlemen, sir, thank you very, very much for sharing in this awesome event today with my family and I. And that's all I have, sir.